Hi, welcome to the Drum Speakeasy series. We're here with Cindy Chastain from Mastercard. Cindy, can you give us a little bit of your background and your role at Mastercard?
So I've been to Mastercard for 5 years now. It's hard to believe. And my role started out in marketing, focused on two aspects of, I would say, customer experience and design. I led the launch of our brand identity, so the new logo and design system, which was very exciting. I had no idea I would be doing that, actually, when I took the role. And the other part of it was really helping our product organization and working with them to help embed customer-centric practices, design thinking in the way we develop and think about our products, especially as Mastercard was becoming more digital. Today, 5 years later, we have now a global team. Mastercard has just hired a chief experience officer that I report to, and we think that customer experience and all that it entails can be a true differentiator for Mastercard. Everything from product design, product innovation, to cultural change, multiple dimensions that we think are going to help create that impact in the organization.
Very nice. So it sounds like you have certainly a lot on your plate, but a really interesting task.
On our collective plate.
What are you working on right now that you're just really excited about?
If you think about the card products that you have today, whether it's credit, it's debit, prepaid, the things that are offered, the way that they're used, it's still very much part of an analog world. And so what we're thinking about is what's the digital future of all of those experiences. Mm-hmm. I would call it really core to our digital transformation as a company.
That's really great. So, you spoke about digital first, and there's certainly an influx in the marketplace of a lot of new fintech brands that are just flooding the space. How has that really driven change for you guys, and what have you done differently to combat that?
Well, one of those is thinking about how do we enable our customers to be better in digital. If you think about just the banks themselves, so much has changed with open banking and with the fintechs. They're really concerned about how do they continue to grow their customer base, how do they hold on to customers, and because that's been a concern, something that keeps them awake at night, it's obviously required Mastercard to think about, well, how do we address that? How do we maintain relevance with our own customers?
So how do you, again, looking at the crowded marketplace, how do you maintain the Mastercard brand and make sure that's relevant and still stands out today?
We've innovated more in the last 5 years than we have in the last 50. And so that required, modernizing and having a brand that was forward-thinking and progressive. At the end of the day, it would be fantastic if people saw what we were doing in the world and said, you know what, I prefer to have a Mastercard because I like this company, I like their values, I like the things that they're doing in the world.
So you've spoken a lot about what you've done at Mastercard, and it's a lot of great things. Are there brands that you watch, whether in the financial service space or even outside of that?
In the past year, I've discovered this women's clothing company, and it's a startup called LaFleur. It feels like it's more of a service than a clothing company. Mm-hmm. So the way they pay attention to everything from the customer experience, what they learn about you, how they learn about their customer needs in terms of the clothing and how that impacts the design. So it's not only a company that provides a great experience, but I love the idea of the role that design has actually played in that end-to-end experience. So I'm quite a fan.
Talk to me a little bit about something you're working on right now or going into the coming year that you're just really excited to get to market.
Mastercard, through our network, can help facilitate a service that could scale globally around digital identity. And what this means is all the information, all the data points that make up you, right, we'll bind them to biometrics. You have it on your phone, it's protected and secure, and then you decide how to unlock that data. That's from a consumer perspective. From a relying party, the people who need to verify one's identities, there's a lot of value as well because it can help prevent fraud.
So just to wrap it up, is there one thing that is going to be a big challenge next year that you're tackling at the moment?
we really need to change culture. It's not about one single team. It's about working with our product partners, our technology partners, legal, et cetera. It's not something that a lot of organizations have kind of built into their DNA, unless they were born digital.
Well, Cindy, it's been great having you. Thank you so much for coming, and thanks for being on the Drum Speakeasy series.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.